Okay, I'm back for part 2, where I'm going to do a transformation of the Re-ZEL. So I kept all the weapons off, and take the beam saber out, and then I'm going to transform him. But before I do that, I'm pretty sure I forgot some minor details here and there. For one, there are mini grenades in here. If you open it up, which I can do, see there are mini grenades. I was going to mention them as I finish recording the first part. Oh yes, it's action-based attachment, but I can only show that after the transformation. So there's one in the crotch right now for the mobile suit mode. Just a normal standard peg, and it goes straight in there. But I guess I could take that out. Anyways, to start the transformation, you have to first unhinge these arms. They're just pegged into the body kind of strangely, so you just kind of pull them out a bit so you can see some pegs here. So do it both sides. This will unhinge or unpeg a hinge joint in the torso that allows the entire body to shift around. And then after that, you lift up this backpack part a bit, like so, and you lift up his entire front of the torso. See that split right there? It just pops straight up, and so does the head. And the head can pop inwards, which is what the instructions tell you to do. So you just pop it in like that while you lift it up. Try to maintain things in a steady way, like that, and then you just close the nose cone on top over the head so it's hidden. And that's it for the head. Moving on, let's take off the, actually I can't take off the backpack for this part, but let's see, right here there is an armor panel. You have to move that, so let me get my X-Acto now. I shall lift said panel. After, of course, you lift up the rear skirt armor to on a double hinge, which reveals some joints and allows you to lift up that flap I mentioned a moment ago. Lift it up. That'll also unlock some more joints, which allows you to, as my fingers have accidentally already done, collapse the stomach. See, it has a convenient sliding mechanism, so it's uneven, and when you squeeze it, everything fits together perfectly. So it's perfect like that, and everything works together. And see a bunch of ports and such, and ports and holes for all the sorts of pegs that went in all sorts of places. Before anything sounds strange, let's move on. It says to move on to the legs, and lose the backpack. That's cool. That thing likes falling off a lot recently. Anyways, pull out the pelvis a bit, or actually pull out the waist. The pelvis. What am I thinking? The waist, because this peg extends, as you just saw. I can show it to you right now. Just extend the peg. And then for some reason it decides to tell you to go back to the arms. So move the arms forward, rotate the entire portion of the arm, including this guy here, upwards, and then rotate everything, rotate just the arm, not including that joint I just mentioned, down, so the arms are now lower than they used to be. So just repeat the process on the other side, like so. And then you remove the hands. So this master grade isn't completely perfect, but I can forgive it. It had the grenade launcher and beam saber storage, which was necessary. So parts forming partially is okay. Okay, after you remove the hands, you simply fold in the arms and kind of leave them alone for a while, since they don't play a role until towards the end of the transformation. Actually, they're almost completely done with their role at this moment. They're just kind of in the way at this time. So, there you go. And then I have to reattach the backpack for this part because it's actually necessary. I want to glue this thing in place. Seriously. You extend these binders like so. They're on some sort of hinge and slide system. No, they're on a slide system. And then you lift up the legs so that they're facing straight out, and then you bend your knees 90 degrees downwards so it looks like he's kneeling or sitting awkwardly. And then the side armor will go out like this, and then they'll go down and up, so it's like that. And just have the other side match. And then we will, actually I'm going to remove these arms. I'm pretty sure the instructions actually advise you to remove them for the sake of convenience, and it is pretty convenient to do it because you can't see anything with this. Okay, so you can pop this entire portion out here, and then the stomach armor can pop off again. That's cool. Just need to fix it quick. Wait, how did it go again? Wait, like this. There we go. And then it pops straight out. And then what you need to do is flip it up like that. There's a notch here and a slit inside of the body. So you just match it up. And it pegs in quite nicely. And then you just after you finish the leg portion, what you need to do is lock it in place using the rear armor. So let me finish off the other side. There we go. And just peg that in. Side armor just fell off. After you do that, it gets a little bit tricky because it doesn't peg in really securely. It's kind of finicky, so you need to lock it in place quickly, which the rear armor does. It holds it in with some friction, so it's a nice and secure fit. And after I get things back in place and resituated, I'll continue. Okay. There we go. Oh, I'm doing it off camera. How much did you not see? I wonder. Alright, now we can reattach the arms because they're needed again. Let's see, this guy went here. And just peg it in. And what I need to do here is, there's a circular part on that peg and there's a circular slit right there, or gap. This closes into there, and this arm will go underneath the start armor, like so. And it'll just kind of just all fit into place, just like that. And do the same for the other arm. And there we go. Arms are completely tucked away for the most part, which is kind of redundant and oxymoronic, I think. I'm just rambling at this point, so do not listen to half the words I say unless they sound like instructions. Anyways, after that we are to push these panels down onto the legs, and they will, there's going to be a hook on the binders that go into the body. I'm not sure if you can see it, but trust me, it's there. I barely see it myself, to be honest. It's supposed to be a peg that goes into a groove of some sort. I'm getting kind of lost again. Oh wait, there it is. Found it. It's really hard to see, and I don't think I can show you on camera, so you guys have to take my word for it. Hopefully you will. If you don't, I don't really mind. And just let me do this the right way, and I'll be happy. Alright, and now that that's settled, I think we can tuck in the legs. And then fold in the feet and push them in, because they have another joint that pushes them into the leg, which locks them in place. Nice and securely, like that. Now we have most of the Re-ZEL completed. Now this is where the shield and beam rifle come into play. It actually forms the entire bottom of the mobile armor. Well, at least the shield does, but the beam rifle is always just there. So here is the beam rifle and shield. 2 pegs, 2 holes, just like the first part. Peg straight in. Then here is the mobile armor base attachment, and apparently it hooks onto the beam rifle. It's really strange, but you just kind of slide it on. There's going to be 2 slits right there, here and here on the 2 sides, and there's going to be 2 mini pegs on the sides of the beam rifle. So it just slides straight on, and it's a complete perfect fit. Now, as for the attachment, this just hooks in the overly sized crotch, and there's going to be a little peg that pokes into there, and that's it. It doesn't sound very stable, but the way that crotch is a giant hook for God knows why makes it a very, very strong connection, surprisingly enough. And there we have it, the Re-ZEL in its Wave Rider mode. It's very, very large. It took 13 minutes. I think it's impressive. Let me show you it on action base. I can get it out with one hand. There we go. So I'm gonna cut off the final thoughts for part 3. I don't have enough time. And I don't want to do a 2-minute final thoughts or 1.5-minute final thoughts. So I'm just going to show you it on the action base. I'm not sure about Transformers terms with the whole kibble thing, but I'm pretty sure kibble has something to do with like remnants of the alt form. If it's like that, you won't really know that this was originally a mobile suit, if not for my poor transformation skills on camera. I do it better off camera, like most people do. I mean, you can kind of recognize a pair of legs here, maybe, if you're good at imagining, or if you're not being exploded by it. If it's hidden well enough, that actually looks like some sort of cockpit, and that does look like a nose cone. You don't really see any traces of a mobile suit, unlike things like the Wing Gundam, where you look at the top, it looks like a mechanical bird. On the bottom, it looks like a Gundam that's hiding its face, and like the Arios and Curios Gundams. They're good transformations, but they don't really hide the fact that they're a mobile suit. The Zeta Gundam did an okay job, and yeah, enough of the rant. So, in mobile armor mode, it can't really do anything, and that's about it. I'm going to go into final thoughts in part 3, because I'm about to run out of time, and I'll see you guys at part 3 then.